Hey guys, Stash here. Want to wish everybody happy holidays. Hope everyone's having a good time and enjoying some time off if you're able to get it. Today's going to be looking at an event breakdown for Winter Warrior. Let's get into it. Looking at some of the different areas, you start out with Mistletoe Mania in the bottom left. This is going to be your random drawing area where you can accumulate frags, maiden tokens, or event items, or even game items. You're going to be utilizing the mistletoe item to essentially donate to give the two different maidens, depending on which period it is, to accumulate different things you might need. In Sleigh Bell Skirmish, this is going to be an area where alliance members can somewhat have a competition internally against each other, but ultimately try to compete against other alliances for better rewards. We'll go over some different strategy regarding these different areas a little later. Under Snowfall Scuffle, you have the campaign area for PvE. This is going to be broken down into 20 different campaign areas, each with 5 different tasks that you're going to have to beat with different waves. In this area, you can also find your upgrade hero area. We'll go over a little bit more of that later. Under Polar Pass, this is where you can get some free daily items. And of course, always if you forget, you can spend some gems to, collect those items later. Under Limited Offers, we'll go over some of these different items. And of course, always continual top up. So looking at Limited Offers, some of these different items, I'll show you first the Ticket to Ride. Basically, each time you go to enter one of the puzzle rounds, you're going to have to spend some chocolate. That looks like that. And then the thing that you're going to be spending in the exchange shop that you're going to be also used to set your ranking is going to be Yuletide tokens. You'll want to collect as many of these as possible, obviously. Then looking at hero upgrade items, right here you have your Gingerbread Man, which is going to be utilized for specifically more focused on upgrading hero's attack power and HP, but also ultimately the skill that the hero can utilize. And then Holiday Pudding, which is the other hero upgrade item. You'll see here this gold snowflake. There are 2 different snowflakes. There's a gold and like a silver, and you're going to utilize that as help in your puzzle matching. Additionally, there's kind of a skip campaign level item, which is the Festive Cracker. If you can collect a lot of these, I'd recommend, obviously don't waste them early on. Try to save them later when you might run into a round that you have difficulty with. You're going to be spending more and more of these later on. I think in the campaign 20 area, I think they cost about 10 to 15. And that should be pretty much all the items for the event. Oh, I forgot one. The candy canes. So you're going to be utilizing this to spend prior to going into the Alliance competition area. And I'll show you what they do. But this is going to be a buff bonus to help increase the damage that you collect as well as the rewards. So with that, let's get into the actual event. We'll start first with the campaign area. Looking back, it'll start out a lot easier, and you would just click, and this will tell you exactly the victory rewards you have, and it'll show you who you're going up against. So you can see that there's 1 wave for this round, and each campaign for each level will go up of 1 wave, 2 wave, 3 wave, and in the top right corner, every 3 matches that you make, the opponent or the enemy that you're going against will send an attack to your heroes. Additionally, looking at the upgrade hero area, this is one of the more confusing that you'll need to go through. But when you first start out, you'll select a typing of hero for each. And looking through, when you go to either Vitality or Invigoration, it's going to show you exactly how many gingerbread you're going to need to spend, or how many fig puddings, holiday puddings, that you'll be spending. If you look right here, this next upgrade will have a requirement listing that says Vitality and Invigoration need to both be at level 22 to reach the next enhancement. And each of these heroes has a skill. Looking at the military, you'll notice that you can basically increase your attack power for 3 rounds by a certain percentage. Each of these skills is based on that specific hero. So for instance, let me skip over to the provision hero. It'll say immediately restore 100% HP for all heroes. What that actually is doing is it's 100% of that specific hero is what it's going to increase. So if you have other heroes that are stronger, it's not going to do 100% of their HP. So additionally, looking at the fortune hero, this is going to drop the rockets, the fireworks on the map. So that way you'll have more explosive and more damage and more ability to collect more of the items to fill their progress bar. And then looking at the inspiration hero, which is blue, you're going to have the glacial globes that are going to be matched to collect his skill, which is going to be to drop and reduce essentially the enemy's attack power. This shows that it'll drop the enemy's attack power by 50%. This is helpful both in the campaign area where you'll face multiple enemies at a time, and then also in the alliance competition area, the enemy will actually send attacks to all of your heroes, whereas in the campaign, the enemy sends it specifically to a single hero. I'm still trying to figure out how that is decided, if it's based on which match you make or if it's just randomized as to which hero they attack. And then lastly, your chivalry, or as a lot of people call all-around hero, is going to help you with a direct damage attack. Once you collect enough and you select to use the skill, it will ask you which enemy you're going to attack, even if there's a single enemy that you're facing, and you'll click that enemy when the board is shadowed out, and you'll be dealing a certain percentage of attack on them. So exiting out of here, we'll look at one of the campaign rounds. As you can see, this one you face more. Let's do a simple one. You're going to be looking at trying to match the minimum of 3, but obviously a maximum of 4 or 5, or if you can somehow be able to match more. But here's a simple one looking right here between these. That's a set of 4, and that's going to give you a green rocket. A set of 5 will give you a red rocket. This green rocket will explode this 3x3 area when you match it, and it's going to be the 3x3 area that it ends in. So if I want or need more blues or more greens, you're going to want to move it into an area that has more items you need. So looking here, let's go up to the blues, and it takes that 3x3 area. If there is another rocket in that area, it will explode, and then you'll see a chain reaction. Looking at this glowed up proctor, you can see that skill is ready to use. If you click these, it will show you what each skill does. If you hold it down, it's not going to show you, but if you click it while it's highlighted, it will use it like this. Following that, that'll be the end of that round. I'll try to find some other matches to show you for technique. One thing with the alliance area that I will go over is that as you're competing, you're going to want to do as much damage as possible. And down here on the bottom where it says challenge once to unlock fast clear, once you beat the enemy with, say, 1 million damage or 4 million damage, and the more you're able to damage the enemy, it's going to reward you with more of these Yuletide tokens. And additionally, if you can meet the highest level, which I believe is roughly about 4 to 5 million or more damage in a single round, they're going to give you 30,000 Yuletide tokens. And if you meet that, what you'll be able to do is this challenge button, you'll check a box, it'll say fast clear, and then you'll be able to expend 2 of these chocolate pieces to be able to do a fast clear. You won't have to actually play, and it will be at that high level of whatever you beat the last round with. I'll show you that in a bit. The other technique I want to go over is in Mistletoe Mania. If you don't need the maiden or tokens that are being given out on the previous period, the early period, one thing that you can do is you can save up and choose when to use. But if you don't drop any mistletoe in the first period, the downside is you're not going to be collecting as many event items that'll help you upgrade your heroes. So keep that in mind. But I personally didn't want a lot of these different Ebenezer tokens. I wanted to go for the newer hero. So keep that in mind as a technique that you can use in some of these other events, is comparing the different rewards for that period. For instance, the Tina skins versus Tina token or frags. So keep that in mind. Additionally, I'll go and I'll start in the next video. I'll start one of these matches and you can take a look at some of the different more specific techniques.